Hey, it's Vinci, this kind from the Detroit Metro Times.
Hey, what's up, boss?
Pretty good. I know you're tired. uh, let's jump right into it. Last scene of season one, you're walking through Detroit's Hart Plaza, and you're telling him that you're out, you're done. This is over. From a character standpoint, what's going on in Terry's mind in that last scene?
I think Terry's had enough. You know what I'm saying? He almost died. He's been locked up, and he's just like, "Look, man, I'm tired of taking all these chances. Let me just try to do things the right way." And I think this is the first time he realized how serious, that life could be. And he's like, "You know what? Let me just walk in this straight line."
Got you. Uh Meech is portrayed, as the flashy one. You're kind of more low key, a tad bit more conservative. You guys' chemistry is really on point. Is that something you worked on off the camera, or was that a challenge, or did it come natural?
It was kind of like all that. Like I think we talked a lot off camera, and, and definitely just, because I used to talk to him a lot about the story. Like, I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? Like, because I know Google only say so much. So I'm like, bro, you like a real Google in like real life. Like, you got real ties to this. So he would like put me on game, and I talked to his pops on the phone and things like that. I talked to Terry a lot. So that's really how we were just able to really just build this whole story.
Gotcha. What kind of insight did the real life Terry give you into the character?
He gave me a lot of his relationship dynamics, like his relationship with Meach, his relationship with Markeisha, his relationship with Lawanda and his mother and father. So that was like good to know that, he definitely shared a lot of stuff, some personal things that, that I'll keep to myself. But he gave me a good perspective to where like I could really develop this character and just take off with it.
Gotcha. Moving into next season, what changes and what stays the same with you and Meech's relationship?
Me and Meech's relationship changed a lot this season. I think, you know, the beginning of the season, where we're beefing, we're not cool with each other. But then afterwards, we start realizing we need each other again, but it's on different grounds. I think Meech developed a different type of respect for Terry this season than he did last season. Like I think he looks at him more as a partner instead of just a little brother.
Got you. In your opinion, there's been a lot of shows, I guess we could say, of similar content as BMF. From your perspective as a participant and a fan, what makes BMF stand out? What makes it different?
Because it's a true story. I think because it was one of the largest domestic drug distributions in the history of America. And this story like blew the feds when they were working on this case to see how organized these two brothers were. And not only did they, blow people's minds on a federal level, but like in the streets and in the culture, I think BMF is one of the most influencing fucking stories ever, in the black culture. That's why you always hearing different references to these characters, to BMF in movies, TV shows, music, all that stuff. I didn't know nothing about BMF, but I would always hear it in songs. And I always hear Big Meech. I'm like, who the hell is Big Meech? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, but now telling the story, I'm like, oh, it all starting to make sense.
Got you. Had you had any prior experience or spent any time in Detroit or familiar with the culture of Detroit at all prior to this?
No, not at all. But shooting season one, because we actually went to Detroit, and
Mm.
it was dope, and having conversations with people from Detroit, that made life a whole hell of a lot easier.
How many? I'm sure this happened. How many times have people like came up to you if you're running the fans from Detroit, like, "Yo, you got it! Like, you got that Detroit swagger." Because we're very prideful of our inner cityness and our uniqueness to each other. So, how much feedback have you gotten with that?
That's a good question. I actually got a lot of feedback. Some people thought I was actually from Detroit, which is kind of like dope, and that's a hell of a compliment because it's one thing people who's just complimenting you, and they're not even from that area or whatever. But like if someone's from that area or they were like involved in the story and they're like, yo, bro, you killed that. That's like, damn, that's a compliment. Black people don't just loosely give compliments.
Like,
So if they saying that, they not just chatting, they mean it.
got you. Last question. Moving like as a you got to 2 seasons in the bag with this and the familiarity you have with the city. Just what's your impression of Detroit from just everything you've seen, witnessed, and been able to kind of intake?
Detroit got a lot of culture to it, and it's a vibe. Like it's definitely one I didn't know about. But I remember when we went out there, like they had their little get down. There was this song that was playing, and like everybody just came to the dance floor and just started doing a little bop to it, and like it was it was so fire. We were so like lost. Everyone who wasn't from Detroit, but it's dope to just see that culture that you guys have and that respect you guys have for each other. And that what up though. I never heard what up though before in my life until telling the story, you know. But it's like it's a real thing, and you guys are just so big on your culture and take a lot of pride in it. So I respect that. That's
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. You didn't make the soda mistake, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I made a few mistakes when I was there.
Okay, that's cool. All right, DaVinci, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you,
All
boss.
right, take care.